Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, most welcome guests. The title of my speech is Always Happy. I believe I've made a discovery which I'm going to share with you on how to be happy all the time. Now, many of you will say, surely that's the Holy Grail. How have you found this out? What has he done? Where has he been? Who's taught him this? Has he been to Japan? Has he meditated under an icy cold waterfall with Zen Buddhist monks? No. Has he climbed the Tibetan foothills? Has he studied and meditated with the Dalai Lama and his followers? No. Has he found happiness at a crack den in Glasgow? Or maybe at the bottom of a bottle of French wine? No. I found it in a book a couple of weeks ago. It was a self-improvement book I found in files. Brilliant book to read every fall. Just go in, there's so many books. I left the book in my bag in my hurry this morning, so I can't show it to you. But it's called 99 and a half Answers to Questions You Never Knew You Had. And there's a very, very simple little bit in it saying, how to be always happy. And I thought, I've got to give that a read. I've got to make that into a speech. How can I do that? Well, there's 7 steps, and I'm going to share them with you. The first step, it's to be so simple, it's to sweat. It's to exercise. When we exercise, we release endorphins. It makes us feel great. You don't get into light rain, don't just go and do marathons, just get off the bus a bit early. Just take the stairs rather than lift. Make yourself more active. The more active you are, the happier you are. We're designed to walk around, to move around, to exercise. We're not designed to sit in front of the computer all day long. The second one, and I found this quite surprising because it's a thing I have a real hard time with, and that is to relax, to take some me time. I'm one of these guys who've got hands in my pants, I can't sit still, I'm always fidgeting, I'm making phone calls, making arrangements, checking the emails, all the usual stuff. But actually just sitting out, vegetating, doing nothing for 10, 15, 20 minutes a day is a really good thing to do. And there's no need to feel guilty about it. The next one is identify. And when I say identify, what I mean is like most of us, like me, like most of you guys, have a pretty stressful job. I've got things coming at me from all angles. I go home, I've got stress, I've got people emailing me, I've got phone calls. And what you need to do is identify what's really causing the stress. Not deal with the symptoms. I was getting back massages and things to sort of loosen the stiffness in my neck. It wasn't really doing any good. What I needed to do is actually identify what was causing the stress. And when you identify what causes the stress, you can then move on to the next action, and that is to plan. Planning. Now, Jay Dignan did a speech a few weeks ago, and one thing stuck in my mind about it was he was how to motivate the New Zealand football team. He talked about inch by inch, just do things inch by inch. And again, we were talking this morning about planning things, do things, little things at a time. Don't try and do everything at once. Don't try and attack everything at once. It's too daunting, it's too difficult. Just take an issue and deal with it bit by bit. Make a plan for every single little action. When you've made a plan, act on it. We've all talked about stuff for ages, and you never quite get around to doing it. What we really need to do is act, because if you act, it makes you feel happier. The other day, let's say, a few months ago, we were all talking at work about doing a triathlon. And we've been talking about it for ages. And I like to do a bit of running and a little bit of swimming, and I cycle to work quite often. So I thought, I could probably do a triathlon, but we've been talking about it for weeks at work now. Why don't I just do it? So I fired up Google, found a triathlon, booked onto it for 2 weeks later. Last Sunday, I did my first triathlon. I felt great. 2 weeks worth of training, and I come 303rd out of 400 people. I was really pleased with myself. It made me so happy. And, okay, Monday I was a bit sore, but by Tuesday I was fine again. So a real achievement. I felt really good. There was action, there was planning. I sorted it all out, I did it all, and all the guys at work are still talking about it, and they're less happy than I am. So I was very happy with that. Now, the 6th step, again, this was quite a surprising thing to find in a book, was to read. And you think most people who read books would know reading makes you happy. It makes me immensely happy. I read Viz. I read Private Eye. I read The Times. I read The Sun. I read the Cornflakes pack in the morning. I read novels. I read biographies. I love to read. I think reading for me is a gift. I was dyslexic as a child, so when I read, I really, really enjoy it. It's a sense of achievement finishing a book, and I really enjoy reading. It makes me immeasurably happy, and I think it can make everyone happy. And you find all the tidbits of information as well. I'm not big into self-improvement manuals, but this one's been really good. Finally, and the most important one, and that is to smile. We've been working with Roger and with Tom for months now, and they always come to the room, they're big and bouncy and smiling, they light up the room, because they're smiling, they're happy. And we've all sat in a room full of miserable people, one person walks in with a big smile on her face, and the whole room lightens up. And I think that's such an important lesson to us all. If we just practice smiling, not insanely so people think we're mad, it'll just make the world a better place. So, just to recap quickly, sweat, relax, identify, plan, act, read, and smile. Thank you very much indeed.